let's talk about food defense. So what is food defense, and why should you care about it? First, let's look and see what Google says. The first result is from the Food Safety and Inspection Service Agency of the USDA. Let's look at what they say food defense is. So for those of you that don't know, USDA stands for United States Department of Agriculture, and they have jurisdiction for a variety of food manufacturers, such as meat, juice, and egg processors. Their website gives a general definition of food defense along with some nice diagrams of how activities and employees could affect the safety of our food supply. This large red sphere represents potential dangerous scenarios that can cause a ripple effect out to the end consumer and other businesses. We'll look at this more later. Let's go back to our search results and see what FDA has on food defense. FDA, or the Food and Drug Administration, has a similar site with a general definition at the top. And if we look at the Resources tab, we can find all sorts of information for employees and businesses. For example, the Employees First program. And if you see something, say something. All of these have to do with frontline employees. But what does all of this really mean? First, let's look at the definitions from the FDA and USDA. FDA says that food defense is the effort to protect food from acts of intentional adulteration. USDA uses a more elaborate definition that states it is the protection of food products from contamination or adulteration intended to cause public health harm or economic disruption. So what would intentional adulteration or contamination look like? If we go back to the USDA's example, we can see a list of potential sources, such as disgruntled employees, product tampering, or fraud using cheaper ingredients or materials. These acts can range widely in severity based on the intent. For example, something for economic gain, or food fraud, is not intended to physically harm the consumer. A good example of this would be diluting juice down below the legal limit defined for the product, therefore reducing the cost for the company. While intentional adulteration is intended to harm consumers by causing illnesses or other bodily injuries. This would be an act of sabotage or tampering by an individual, like the shady character hiding behind our dumpster in the picture. Food defense is more than a plan or document. It's a living system that you play an active role in. The food defense program isn't kept under lock and key. All employees need to know and understand what their roles are. You are the first line of defense. What you see and hear every day is invaluable information that needs to be shared with others. Let's talk about things you do every day for food defense. We have employee and visitor identification, keeping entrances secured and using designated entrances, being aware of your surroundings. Shipping verifies all incoming trailers are sealed and all outbound loads are locked. Check any materials prior to use. Is it clean? Expired? Opened? Asking questions or notifying a supervisor of anything suspicious. Company ID badges are issued to all employees. These are used for identification and should be worn every day in a visible location. Access is assigned to each area of the facility, so ensure that no doors are propped open. Trucks are received by appointment only. All loads are sealed or locked to ensure product is secure. GBC employees are responsible for verifying seal numbers and driver's identification. We also use a color code system for hairnets. All employees wear white, while visitors and contractors wear green. These are just a few of the things that we do for food defense. Your part in food defense is by far the most important.